What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Mint City Soccer Show. I am Corey Insko. I'm here with Matt Swift. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good, Corey. Nice to be with you tonight.
Good to be with you. Gusler is gallivanting around Greensboro, like that alliteration right there. So he won't be with us tonight. He's with us in spirit. He did just ask a question in the mailbag. It just said why. So we'll get to that. We'll get to the whys of everything that's happened over the past week with Charlotte FC, because we got a lot to talk about. We got two matches since the last time we recorded. A lot of goals in those matches to kind of talk about. We've got screenshots to get everybody excited that those are coming. If you're watching on Spotify or on YouTube, if you're not watching and you can watch, be prepared for that. We got some screenshots to break down some goals here. But a lot to get to in what honestly should have been a 9-point week this week. That is unfortunately only 7. But hey,
yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it if I didn't know how the Wednesday match went, and we'll get into that. A road draw doesn't sound bad until you actually watch the game.
That's very true. That's very true.
All right, so should we just dive into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So last Wednesday, Charlotte FC traveled to Toronto, built a 3-goal lead, ended up drawing 3-3. And so we got a lot of questions from fans, a lot of things to dive into here. But I guess just kind of starting off as we typically do, looking at any kind of things in the lineup, anything that kind of stood out to you pre-match as we were getting into that one, or how the match started. Anything stand out for you about the beginning of that Toronto match?
It's interesting that Dean is now kind of rotating that third center midfielder.
Yep.
It's also strange too that Gianni was, I think, playing well and had a good run of form, and then Dean was starting him and he was getting minutes, and then all of a sudden we just haven't seen Gianni now. So I don't know what has happened, either like in training or I don't know. I think Dean is really not entirely sure who that third midfielder should be over these last couple of games. It's been just like a revolving door. We'll certainly get into the DC game and who started there. But so yeah, I think that's just kind of like a head scratcher. Maxi not fully ready to go the full 90 yet. But this was a game that I'm still pretty bitter about. All things considered, because again, to be up and then to be up a man too. Not only that, to be up 2 goals, you're also up a man as well. To just completely turn off and give up the goals that we did, and we'll go through those, is very disappointing. The subs again, head scratcher, and it's just a common theme that we've seen and talked about on this show. So those things were frustrating. And to your point, Corey, a draw is great on the road, but at what point do we say, that's not great anymore? Like you've got to take those chances and get those extra points, because I consider this a loss. I consider this losing 2 points instead of a draw. And I think you're kind of on the same boat. I think everybody's on the same boat there.
No, 100%. We talk about this a lot. Like there's draws that feel like wins, and there's draws that feels like losses, and some draws just feel like draws. I mean, I guess there is that middle ground, but this is absolutely one that feels like a loss. And I just worry that, we're going to play that what if game later in the season, where you look at the table and say, man, if we had those 2 points, what does that change about, is that the difference between 4th and 5th? Like, who knows? Like there's that kind of thing could happen. Cause a road draw, like I'll take points usually. I mean, if you told me coming into this week of matches, we walk out with 7 points, I'm like, I'll take that. That's a good run. But knowing the way it happened, knowing that it was right there sitting on us, and just everything kind of fell to pieces, as we'll talk about, that made it really, really frustrating and hard to watch there, and kind of took away from what was like kind of building into a really fun night for the team, and everything seemed to be going really well. And again, like, is especially when you're playing a team that's, below you in the standings, They're outside of the playoff race. A team that you feel like you should play well against, and you start off with that kind of, good start, get up early, have that lead, have a man advantage. Like it's hard to swallow. It's just a really hard to swallow. I'm just going to forget this game ever happened kind of thing once it's over, because that was just a pretty frustrating result.
It's one of those things too, where you look at the standings. First and second place is pretty much gone from us,
Yeah.
unless something just drastically happens, and that's kind of sad in itself. That like, oh, we can't even get first or second. Third is starting to get away. So of course, we want to finish in the top four to have a home playoff. If we would have finished out that game, that puts us level with New England. And that would have put us 2 points back from Chicago, who's in third. That's, like I said, starting to get away from us.
Yeah.
But yet here we are sitting at 32 points.
Yep.
Now we're 4 points behind Chicago, and Chicago has a game in hand.
Right.
So if they win that next one, now they're at 39 points, the same as Miami. And this is where things can really get away from you. And this is where, like, okay, I guess we're in the playoffs, yay! But so is half the field, and we're fifth and sixth. And to be blunt, we've talked about it at the beginning of the season. What are expectations? Where are we supposed to go? And it's supposed to be top four. It's supposed to be, can we get the third, second, and can we win the division? And here we are, kind of not necessarily, maybe just taking a step back. So it's disheartening.
Yeah, I agree. And what's we got a little lucky, I feel like, or things have bounced our way as far as other results. I really thought that fourth would be more of a long shot than it currently is. I mean, we're right there for the fourth place spot. I feel like we talked previous weeks that fourth felt pretty hard to get, but it's there. But that's why this kind of dropping 2 points hurts even more, that we could be tied for that fourth place spot, and we're not currently there. But to your point, 1 and 2 are pretty much gone. I'm kind of almost at this point considering Chicago gone, just because they have that game in hand, unless they really have a bad run here for a little bit. You never know. Still plenty of matches to be played, but I think that fourth place is still in play.
Now we play them at home on September 26th, so that'd be huge. And I mean, at that point, there's a couple of games before we get there, so we'll see how everything shakes out. But that could be some pretty big implications there too for playoff spots.
Yep. All right, so let's get into the match. We can start with the good stuff, because the good stuff started early for Charlotte, and then we'll talk about the bad later. So let's stay positive about the beginning of this match, at least. Let me pull it up here just so I'm not forgetting. You had the first goal 8 minutes in. We've gotten to a little streak here, except for Saturday, which we'll talk about. But we had a little run here of some really quick early starts from this squad, and this was the same situation, and really taking advantage of a big mistake by Toronto there, and Aloko, who I mean, we could talk more about this. Aloko had himself a game.
He did.
So he takes advantage, gets himself in a good position, scores a really nice goal there to take the lead in the 8th minute of that match. So what'd you think about that first goal?
Yeah, it's I keep talking about high pressure. I keep talking about turning the ball over higher up the field, and sometimes goalkeeper's going to make a mistake. Sometimes a defender's going to make a mistake. But if you're dropped completely off, you can't pounce on those things. So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of pressure. If their defense and goalkeeper know that they're not going to have any pressure at all, if they're not, in a rush to make passes or make decisions. So it's good sometimes to force that. And Aloko, man, he charges hard on things. He's fast, he's physical, he's scary coming at you. So I really like him. And glad that he got an opportunity to shine. And I think he's one of those players that is only going to get better. I think some of his decision making still needs to, need to fine tune that. And again, I think he's a lot like Patrick was. Some very early on, a lot of excitement, explosiveness could make things happen, but also would kind of make a bonehead decision, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it just comes with getting minutes and everything like that. So really excited for him. I hope that he can continue to start over other players and get opportunities because and he's missed some good chances, and
Yeah, sure.
he took to social media to basically say it's my fault. I should have done better, and I appreciate things like that. So I'm really big on the Loco, and again, I hope he can get more and more opportunities because I think he'll be great for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think again we can talk about kind of how he continued to play throughout that whole game, but I feel like to compare him to someone who we are hoping he gets starts over, it felt like he knew this was a chance for him. Like, I'm getting the start. I know that this is an opportunity for me to show that like I deserve to be in the starting spot. And
Mm-hmm.
he went out there with this just level of aggression and confidence, and like I'm
Yeah.
going for it.
Yeah.
Because every time he had the ball, he was charging at the goal, and he looked
Mm-hmm.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And just did a lot of things in that match. Should have had an assist, right? It was him that got kind of the assist taken away because of another player's little flub there. Am I right on that? Was that a loco crossing it? No.
He ends up getting a kind of layoff assist. Let me look at how they scored
I'm
it. Yeah, so he I don't know if they actually
no.
did.
You're thinking about the game before. I was thinking
You're right. You're
this
right.
is the problem, y'all. Just so you know, like when we have games in a row and we have to talk about both, like I've already forgot what happened last Wednesday.
That's true.
Let's be
That's
real.
true. That's
Like
true. That's true.
I forgot what happened last week. To go back there, but no, he came out and just played with this level of, like I said, just aggression and confidence that you want to see in a player like that. And yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's going to make some mistakes. I understand all of that, but like that's what I want to see out of a player of his caliber and able to make the most of those opportunities. And it was really fun to watch him in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the lead was short lived. I think we have screenshots for the first goal, right? Are you ready for me to bring up screenshots of the first Toronto goal, which happened just a few minutes later? Right? It was the 14th minute.
Yeah.
So, 6 minutes later after our goal, Toronto evens it up. So let me stall here while I pull up these photos that were shared with me just
I was definitely
ago.
thinking about the match before Toronto.
And I was thinking about a totally different player about the second goal. So we're just all kind of out of sorts. So just forgive us. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Toronto or that a loco was on it in this match. So, all right, let me pull this up. All right, here we are. Here's our first screenshot of the first Toronto goal. And I knew this was going to be the first part of it. Like as soon as I saw it happen live, I was like, this is going to be Mark 1.
Yeah. So the issue here, circled, is Tim Ream.
Yep.
And this is right over midfield. And he has decided to, kind of characteristically of him, because he's more cautious, he decides to challenge the ball here, which is ill-advised. Because again, he is stepping way out of position to do this. Now, I will say he may have done that because we really don't have any center midfield cover. There's actually two guys here from Toronto that are in the vicinity, and that I'm pretty sure that's Westwood. So Tim steps to challenge the ball. It's not a good challenge. He could have maybe just more pressured or contained and then drop back, but he goes full challenge again. As soon as I saw, I was like, oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I did too.
So if you want to go to the next screen, Tim doesn't win. Now we're in transition, or Toronto's in transition. Now we're going back. Now, but look, I mean, we still have numbers. This is, there's somebody in behind here and in the foreground here, but this doesn't look all that dangerous, all things considered. And again, this is at midfield. We're not turning the ball over in our defensive third or anything like that. This is midfield. And if you want to go to the next one, Now we're all the way at our 18. So this has been carried down, and I wanted to highlight this because one, I've talked about our defense sagging back too much, and more importantly, I've talked about we lead the MLS in goals outside the box. So if you look at the screenshot, though, you're like, okay, we're kind of covered here. Not too bad. I still think Tim has made this big long run back, and he's not even guarding the outside man at this point, which is frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to some more Tim Ream stuff here. So as you see on this, he's ball watching. Everybody's basically just watching the ball.
And this is still Sargent that has the ball, right? Like he made that run from midfield. This is before he lays it off, right? Okay.
Exactly. So that's the other frustrating thing. And so here's the thing. Schnegg is, or is, I think that's Schnegg.
Yeah, Schnegg.
Or no, or is that, yeah. Why is he that far back? Not guarding anyone, just sagging back for sake of just, I think it's like mentality. I keep talking about that. I think it's a little bit of laziness, not being sharp. Maybe lazy is a strong word, but Sargent is and see, do you notice how Westwood has now, he was at the top of the 18. Now he's sagged more back into the 18. Yeah. Why? I don't know. And this is a common theme with our center mids. It's not just him. He does this a lot, though. But our whole defense and center mid sag way too much into the 18. And I can go in more in that for sure. But, Sargent's just simply able to lay this ball off. And, I'm going to take a jab at people who love XG. You'd be like, well, shots outside the box, that's low XG, and that's what you want. Well, again, I live in the real world, and so the real world tells me that we give up the most goals outside the box, and a lot of times it's right at the top of the 18. And sure enough, that's what happened this game, and that's why we lead the league in goals allowed outside the box. So, again, Sargent, to your point, Corey was able to dribble all the way down the field. No pressure, not dispossessed, and then able to lay this ball off. And it was a good shot.
Yeah.
But again, it's a common theme. It's not just a one-off thing. It has happened a couple times. Like we lead the MLS.
Yes.
In those types of shots. And
at a certain point, that stops just being bad luck, right. And just like, just law of averages kind of thing. Like there's a problem if they're scoring that often from outside the box. They're making it too easy for other teams to be able to do that. And
again, you could talk about XG all you want, low percentage shots all you want, but in the real world, we are giving up a lot of goals. We are on track to, if we keep pace of what we have, we're going to allow 10 more goals this season than we did last season.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's not good. No. I feel like this has happened multiple times in this match. I think the third goal particularly, but I remember on this one as well, like, I don't know if like Kalina, did this take a deflection or something? I just remembered like multiple goals in this match, if not all three, Kalina just standing there being like, what happened there?
I think this first one just kind of got through and he was like shielded a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if he got screened or something, because it didn't look like it deflected off of anybody, and it looked like he had a chance to get over to it. He just doesn't even make a move at it.
And I'd like to see our defenders and midfielders really go for the ball instead of kind of like, oh no, shot, like, kind of like sticking like a little foot out. Like a little more aggressiveness there.
Yeah,
please.
Absolutely. All right. So it's now 1-1. They have leveled it, and we are moving forward to a little bit later in the first half. Again, this was a hard and fast first half with goal scoring. There was a couple chances even before we get to this final goal. Again, looking back at the highlights, there's some really nice connection play between Will Cleary and a loco on the right side, at least a Biel shot.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed. I think we talked about it a little bit in the past. Will Cleary has really impressed me with his opportunities that he's stepped out there for too.
Yep.
So fun to see him, and again, just some nice passing and quick decision passing, one touch passing. That's really nice to see too, to build up some of these really nice plays too. So it's been fun to watch. I think there was another. Oh yeah, no, this was the one. I was right. See, my memory isn't
Were we
terrible.
right?
A loco should have gotten an assist, if you remember, because he. Hold on, let me pull up all of our people. So this is the one. Second goal is a loco drives down into the box, makes an amazing run into the box, puts the ball across the goal. Abada does I don't even know what with it. Kind of plays with it in front of the goalkeeper instead of just like smacking it home.
Yeah.
So that should have been a loco assist to an Abada goal. Abada does nothing with it. It gets taken off his foot basically, but somehow bounces right to Toklamati, who slams it into the top of the net to get up 2-1. But really, again, like that, I knew I was thinking of something that else he did in that match. But a loco really drove this. It's a nice pass from I don't know, that was a center back, I believe. I don't know if that was I don't think it was Tim. But again, makes a nice pass. A loco takes it, drives into the box, puts a nice pass across. Abada can't finish it, but luckily Toklamati does to put us up 2-1. So any thoughts there?
Thank God Toklamati was there, because y'all would have never heard the end of it. I was steaming mad, man. Like I just, luckily he was there to put that away. So that's about as nice as I can be about it.
Yeah, I think we were joking in the Discord because I'd been giving our strikers a hard time in the last episode, and y'all were like, "Look, Tokamati scored." I was like, "I mean, he did. you're not wrong. It won't go in the highlight reel, but you're right. He did score."
Yeah, it's one of those things. It could help the confidence, getting the ball.
Sure,
but yeah, it's definitely not like a. He was just there and put the ball away. Yeah.
I mean, part of it is being there sometimes. Like I feel like that's sometimes, you gotta have guys charging into the box because good things happen. So I'm glad he was there. But yeah, I mean, I have the screen like where I've just paused the video. You see when Abada gets the ball. I might have to try to share this real quick.
Sure.
Because it's just like a fortunate pausing position right here. But look at this. This is where I paused it. That's Abada. Look how out of position the keeper is here. And all he's got to do is go just hit with any kind of anything. Just dink it slightly toward goal and it's in. And he decides to, I don't know, take a few. I don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We don't need to harp on it too much, but I'm glad Toklamati got the goal. And again, a really nice setup there from a loco to set up the opportunity. So going back and taking a look at how things flowed from there, nothing else really, on the score sheet, obviously, and exciting in the first half. Anything else about the first half that you wanted to point out before we get into the chaos that was like the last 35 minutes of this match?
No, let's get into the chaos, man.
All right. So Walker Zimmerman has just added to his history with Charlotte FC, and I guess with Toklamati in particular, right?
Yes. Yes. I was thinking about that. I was like, wow, man. He kicks you in the face. He makes you get a red card. Like, man.
That was one of those things. I was like, does he recognize that that's the guy who did that? So yeah, if you don't remember, this was it last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago when he was with Nashville?
Yeah.
What year was that? Either way, it was sometime. Matt's going to Google. I'll just kind of tell the story about what happened. But it was in Charlotte. We were playing Nashville when Walker Zimmerman was with them, and it was one of those kind of freak plays where Toklamati's going up for a ball. I think he's trying to like bicycle it or something like that, and just gets Walker Zimmerman hard in the side of the head. It was a rough one. Obviously Walker's okay and he came back and continued playing, but it was a scary moment there too. So
it was last year.
Was it last year? Okay.
Oh, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I couldn't remember when it was. there's already that history. And then in the 56th minute, Tokomati does an amazing job with this. I thought like his touch after kind of a lot of, there's a lot of physical play, there's hands all over each other, like could have been a foul call. But Tokomati gets the ball and touches it past Walker Zimmerman in a beautiful way. Seems to me, I know he was far from the goal, but he seemed on goal at that point. It was, I know there were some arguments about like he's kind of far and is that does that denial of a goal scoring opportunity situation? Blah, blah, blah. But I think because of the way he touched the ball, the direction it was going, and the momentum he had going behind it, and his speed, I was like, I immediately was like, that's a clear red. And obviously, I'm biased, of course.
Yeah.
But
no,
and it was a hard tackle, too. Like the tackle itself wouldn't have been a red, but it didn't help that it was like a pretty hard tackle there. They give it a little review. The red stands. And so now Walker Zimmerman is off. And we are up a man, we were up a goal, and right off the free kick, you get another goal here on a really nice Ashley Westwood ball in, and Henry Kessler gets the third goal there. So thoughts on kind of that whole sequence of play leading into that third goal?
Tokomati does really great, like you were saying, to get that that whole thing started. I actually thought, Zimmerman was, I think, mad because the first initial foul was not called, but to me, he fouls Tokomati.
Right. I thought that was interesting too. The announcer was talking about that too. It's like, they were like, oh, he's mad about the first foul. I was like, you mean when he wrapped his arms around and pulled him down? Like,
yeah.
that
and
one?
Tokomati's facing a lot of that this season. He's not big and tall like Patrick, but he's having to do a lot of hold up play, which I don't think that's the best for him. But he does well here. Gets, definitely from behind. I think it's 100% red card. And then, the free kick, we have a new free kick specialist coach. It has paid off, I believe. I'll have to check my math on this. I think we've had 11 set piece goals, which is, I think, 29% of our goals, something like that. So it's starting to pay off. But it's great to go up a man and then immediately score, immediately. And then, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, this is going to be a great road win. Really huge confidence booster for a lot of players, like Tokomati being one of those. He's kind of struggled. So I was feeling pretty damn good after this goal. And Kessler, again, kudos to him. We've talked about how the injury proneness, the signing kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He was out for like 6 months, but he's played really, really well.
Yes.
Please stay healthy. And that's the only thing. But yeah, it's been great to watch him get the minutes and then actually produce defensively and offensively. And yeah, great set piece goal. That's really great stuff.
Yeah, you mentioned it. We can talk about it more in the next match. We won't, because we got to get to another whole other match here. But I've noticed, like, not even looking at the stats, like I'm seeing the difference in having the set piece coach that we currently have, because it used to be like I never expected to score on a corner or set piece, anything like that, like never. And then we get this one. I think the first two goals of the next match were both off of, one was a set piece, one was a corner. So like we're getting goals in these places where I feel like we didn't used to get them. And so that was great to see. I believe that's Kessler's first MLS goal for us, which was nice to see too. And I think he'd had a chance like not long before that as well, where he had a good opportunity. So he put himself in some good places. And
did it come off the post or crossbar or
Yeah,
something? I can't remember.
I think something
what that
like
was.
that. Yeah, I just remember him having another chance, and so being happy that he put this one away to go up 3-1. And at this point, we feel like we're cruising, right? I mean, we're up 3-1. We're up a man. Shut it down. Like let's get out of here with 3 more points, and it's gonna be.
It's funny that you say shut it down. I have some thoughts on that. Go ahead.
So let's go ahead and talk about the subs. That's the elephant in the room. So 69th minute, first sub, which I don't think anybody would argue with, is bringing on Maxi for Abada. Fine. It seems like obviously they had kind of him on Maxi on a pitch count of sorts to kind of work him into the lineup a few minutes here or there.
Yeah.
So I expected to see. I thought maybe we'd see him at halftime again, but I figured at some point
Mm.
in the second half we'll see him come in,
Yeah.
and get some playing time in there as well. So that totally made sense to me. And then the other one was Tiger Smalls for Aloko.
Yeah, I have some thoughts. First off, the Maxi sub I think makes sense for a couple reasons. One, to get him minutes, and also two, as the game you're trying to kill the game off, you get the ball at Maxi's feet. He's able to dribble past people,
Yes.
take it to the corner flag. You know, he could work his magic, right? So it's not just him assists, scoring; it's him controlling the ball, getting fouled, things like that. I really like that sub. The Smalls for a Loco thing drives me nuts. Again, I don't. Dean really loves Tiger. I don't know. I don't know. And supposedly, in Dean's words, Loco was gassed. He made some comment. I need to go back and look at it, and people can correct me. He made some comment about like he didn't get back on defense or he missed something defensively, I think he said. And I'm like, Dean, please. Tiger Smalls gives you zero effort on defense.
Yeah.
Unless you're yelling at him like in his face to like do something. Just the effort is not there for me with Tiger either. I'm a big effort guy. And so you take out a red hot Aloko.
Yeah. Who again is having like just an amazing match.
Yeah. But maybe Aloko was tired, and maybe it's like, okay, we're up 3-1. I really love Tiger Smalls. Let's get him some more minutes. Maybe that's just maybe that's what Dean's thinking. Like, maybe Dean's like, with time, Tiger can come good. He just needs the reps.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to be nice about it.
I will say, because of the game situation, I wasn't that mad when this sub happened. Mm-hmm. Like other times I get very angry when he comes on. This time I was like, I mean, we're up 3-1, we're up a man. Yeah. We're gonna just see this one out. Like that's fine. Like it was whatever to give him some playing time.
Now this sub didn't bother me as much as the other one that we'll get to, but it was the combination. I think it's the combination that really angers me.
Yeah.
So no, that's I mean, fair. Like I could be like, okay, but it's this next sub that like
the next one.
You stack
all right. So before we get to that second sub, because you're right, the situation changes and that makes the sub way worse than the one you're talking about next. So let's talk about when the situation started to change. We get a second goal for Toronto in the 77th minute. I am pulling up the screenshots as we speak to walk through this one. Here we are.
Yeah, and I paused it here on purpose because when I saw it live, I was like, what the hell is Schnegg doing? So Schnegg is like wiping his nose or something, picking his nose, like something with his nose. And I remember I saw it live. I was like, what the shit is happening? And so, again, it's this like mentality thing. Like we're up 3-1. It's the 76th minute, about to be in the 77th minute.
Mm-hmm.
And look how open this guy is. And Schnegg is messing with his nose. Now, I paused it here, too, because the next screenshot will be very telling.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Corey.
No, I was just going to say, like, he's got all this space, and it's not because there's anything happening in the middle that, like, Schnegg is having to cheat over for. Yep. Like, that's the only, there's, like, this guy in the middle, is that Sargent, I guess, maybe, it has like 3 guys around him and then a guy on the farther side of the field. So it's like there's not a whole lot of threat happening right in here for him to have that much space.
And again, this kind of goes back a little bit to tactics. Dean loves to compact the field. We've seen this, with fast switches, we get in trouble because we're very compact. That's how Dean likes to play. He's always done that. It's not a surprise, not even just Charlotte. He's done this throughout his career. So Schnegg is way inside, and there's not much of a threat here with this ball. But when we go to the next frame, now we're at the edge of the box with no pressure. There was no pressure up until this point. Now Schnegg is a little bit up on him. Now we have Toronto kind of going into the box.
Yep.
Now you see Tim Ream taking his normal I'm going to play zone defense stance. And I'm gonna pick on Tim Ream. Tim Ream, I think at 38 is like, I'm not going to get beat by somebody blowing past me. I'm going to take up a good, deep defensive posture and play zone defense. And I'm going to ball watch a lot. Tim Ream, to me, ball watches too much now. It's a common theme I'm seeing. Maybe somebody can prove me wrong. Maybe he can yell at me when he sees me if he ever hears the show. I'm like, I don't ball watch. But that's what I'm seeing. So again, not a huge threat. But if you look, we have runners coming in, and there's one person looking to see who's coming into the box. Tim Ream, not looking. Brant starting to maybe slide over to help guard.
Yep.
Ashley Westwood, ball watching, not looking.
Yep. I think you got Cleary and Kessler back here seem to be at least looking at what's coming at them, which
Kessler is actually using his head to look around. Yes. Yep.
All right. Oh, man.
So Schnegg gets beat.
This slide tackle to me was just ridiculous.
It was bad.
It was unnecessary, and like the situation didn't call for it, and he just totally whiffed on doing anything to stop the attack with that slide tackle attempt.
It's lazy, super lazy defending from the time that dude got the ball, and it burned me up, especially because of what happened. But I circle, 3 people here. Probably could have put Brant in there too. What purpose is Brant doing here? He had moved over to maybe double team, but didn't get over fast enough. Ashley Westwood still looking at the ball. There is literally a dude behind him that he has not seen, picked up on. Well, there's actually 2 people.
You're talking about this guy back here.
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy. But you picked up the one near the referee. So there's actually 2. And then Tim Ream and Kessler are at the top of the 6-yard box. Now, we talked about sagging in too deep. Now, where's Westwood? Where's Bronico? They're also inside the 6-yard box, because the guy that you highlighted near the referee, that could have also the ball could have also went to him too during this play at the top of the box and free shot. Yeah. So it's this common theme. So if you go to the next one, whoops.
It's this guy that scores, right? It's the one who's kind of at the top of the box behind Westwood.
Look where he runs to. He beats Westwood and Tim Ream. Again, Tim Ream slow to come over. Brant slow to react. It's just lazy ass defending again. This goal is really stupid. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 people around that ball.
Yeah.
And it still gets to him.
It feels like, if I remember correctly, like because Bronico doesn't really do anything over here, when this awful slide tackle happens, Ream feels the need to come help finally.
Yeah, finally, yes. You say finally
is the key word. But that makes it even easier. I mean, he probably, honestly, I really feel like this guy could have run through even with Ream there and probably would have had just as much success. But because Ream moves out of the way, it's even more wide open for him.
And that's when Ashley Westwood has to be observant. Yep. He's late. Kessler doesn't move over. This ball could have also went to the guy that is in front of Cleary. But look at all of our defenders here. They're all in the 6-yard box basically. Look. Just if you look at there you go. Yeah, all those people.
All these Toronto players who are just like wide open.
That ball could have went to any of those dudes.
Just wide open. All right.
Yeah.
So now it's 2-3. So it's like, okay, well, that's not what I was hoping would happen here. Getting a little bit more tense than I would like, and I was hoping it would be an easy last, 30 minutes of the match and just hang out. So it gets a little tense. So Dean makes some subs. Archie for Tokomati. Again, that one makes sense. I see that one. Sure. It typically happens at some point. Then we take out Pep Biel for Luca De La Torre.
Yeah. Because if you want to shut down a game and play defense, that's who you should put in. Now, if you didn't have anybody else on your bench, okay, yeah, put a body out there. But you're up 3-2. You're up a man. You're still up, but you're kind of like not doing well.
Yeah.
So you put on Luka, who again doesn't give you much offensively and gives you 0 defensively. He could have put in Diani, who it goes back to Diani has started, played a lot of minutes, and then all of a sudden you didn't see him. And then here we are. You could have put him in here. You didn't. You put in Luka, and it's a dumb decision. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And then when you combine that with the Smalls Loco thing, and there's something to be said about Tokomati having a really good game, and you take him out. I mean, you can kind of go either way there, like fresh legs, Archie, stretch the game.
Yeah, that one's fine to me.
But the Luka sub, just get out of here with that. No, I can't do it. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, has Dean said anything about why he made this sub?
Yeah, Pep tired and some type of ankle. He's been dealing with an ankle thing. That's right.
He said something about his ankle thing.
And Pep doesn't play a lot of 90 minutes now. We've given Abada some hell for that. And the Pep needs to also, our big players have to finish games. They have to play the full 90. If this was a 3-1 game, yeah, if you want to pull him in, but again, put in somebody defensively that could play both sides of the ball. Yeah. Someone you have started and seem to really like. But now it's this like play Luka crap that I don't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. So,
and then like I kind of get of two minds with this situation where it's like, yes, and this might have been, you talked about the parking the bus thing when I said that earlier. I get wanting to see out a match. I also hate when we take out some of our best attacking talent, or essentially like all of our best attacking talent, in a game that's like not done. Like especially after they score that second goal. If it's still 3-1 in the 82nd minute or whatever, like fine, whatever, sure. Like just, pull in whoever you want to. Like we're just kind of eating up some minutes here. We'll probably be fine. But like, there was still a lot of game left here, and it's a 1-goal match, and things have been trending the wrong direction.
Right.
I don't know. Unless he's completely gassed and unusable, like I kind of want to keep my playmaker out there just in case we need some of that action later in the game. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm not a coach for a very good reason. No. But like when I see us take a Loco and BL out in this situation, that's when I start to worry. It's like if they even this up and we have a chance to try to get a late winner, I feel like we're taking away some of our best attacking options in that moment for that. Obviously, we bring Maxi on, so we have that there. But I don't know. Just don't love seeing him come off. And I'm like, we might need him in a minute.
Yeah. So again, if you want to say, if Dean wants to say he's tired or saving him or ankle, whatever excuse. Again, if I'm picking a player that can control the ball, who can play offense and defense, it's not Luka, it's Diani.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, why I scratch my head is that Dean started Diani. He liked Diani. He was getting minutes. He was starting over other people.
Diani's had a good season. Like I just don't.
And then all of a sudden you don't see him. And I keep going back to Brandon. Like there's like the thing with Brandon Cambridge. Brandon Cambridge would come in and have a really good game, and then you literally would never see him again.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And then, Brandon gets sold, and it's like, what is happening in training that we are not seeing?
Because that's clearly all he focuses. He's the kind of coach that like he clearly only bases, or not only, but most of his basis for who gets the start is on training. And some of these players would be amazing in training. We're just not seeing it on the field.
Yeah.
But they clearly must be. One more positive thing, and then we got to get to the second match because we've been going for a while about this first one. This is the bad one. And I know we got to talk about the third goal, but before we talk about that, one more positive thing is, and we're going to talk way more about him in when we talk about Saturday's match, but like Maxi comes on and just immediately makes an impact. Like, I got so excited his first few appearances for us, like as a sub, because it was just like he'd only be on there for like 10, 20. I mean, he had one whole half, but like immediately comes on and it's just like making an impact. Like he's making amazing moves, firing shots on. Like it is just like boom, here he is. And so like that was my one silver lining I think that I put out of this match. I was like, that was terrible. I am so freaking excited to have Maxi and what he's going to do with this team, because he immediately came on and like was making a huge impact. I think he had one come off the crossbar or something like that early on in his time in the match. So he's a lot of fun to watch and just amazing to see that immediate impact when he stepped on the field.
He's going to be great. He's not afraid to take people on. He can dribble really, really well. I think he protects the ball better than like Zaha did.
Yep.
I think it's just a matter of time. Those shots, which were blistering shots, by the way, he has some he has some power behind those shots. I think once he gets that fine tuned, it's going to be he's going to score some goals.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off and talk about this third goal. So 90th minute, we're just trying to see it out here. Just trying to get to the end and get 3 points. And then this happens. So we got our screenshot up here so you can talk through. We only have 2 this time. Only 2 screenshots for this goal. But
I didn't want to labor the point too much. Again, we're super sagged back. Defense 101, you step up. And again, like I learned this in high school, like you step up. Like as a goalkeeper, your goalkeeper is yelling to step up because you want to catch, the team offside and just to keep their offense up the field. But here we are, sag back. Tim Ream, watching the ball in his zone defense that he likes to do. And and our whole team is inside the 18, by the way.
Yeah.
Basically, except for
six guys and then 2 guys over here outside the 18, but that far back.
I think, Maxi's up at the top of the box, if that tells you anything. So very compact. Everybody's in the box. And this ball is simply played out to the guy that's by the referee. Again, I you know how much I love Ashley Westwood. You know how much I love him. But I got to call him out again here. What is he doing? Who's he guarding? Nobody. He's not guarding anybody. He should be. Now, this ball is about to leave this guy's foot. Ashley Westwood should be rushing or running out to at least the very top of this box to contest, just this guy getting the ball. But that's not what happens. So you can go to the next slide. We step out a little bit. But again, I circle Westwood and Brandt here. Now, the last frame, I showed you the ball about to go to the player that's receiving the ball. Now the ball is at this guy's feet, and we're still inside the box. We're still inside the 18. We have not rushed out to contain. Brandt actually should be kind of concerned about the guy behind him. Westwood is the one that should be rushing out. And that didn't happen. So this is a cross into the box. It was not a shot. I don't care what this dude says. It was a cross into the box.
Cross.
And Tim Ream, Christian Kalina should feel really, really bad about this goal because the ball should never be allowed to land inside your 6-yard box. Tim, I don't have the screenshot here, but Tim doesn't play the ball. He thinks it's maybe going to hit and go out. Kalina, who's a professional goalkeeper, who's been amazing, does not come out to get the ball decisively. It is lazy defending. It is mentality. I keep harping on that. It is mentality. Mentality and tactics are killing us this year.
Yeah.
And we just mentally were not great this game. And we paid the price for it. I hope they watch some game film of this one. This is a perfect example of not finishing a game out, being mentally weak. There's nothing else I could really say about it.
Yeah. I feel like that's exactly it. This was totally a mental lapse situation at
Yeah.
the end of this half. Yeah, I mean, it felt weird. I was like, I mean, I guess if I'm reading it, like Kalina assumed Reem was going to go for it, so he didn't want to move out of his position he was in because he assumed Reem was going to because Reem was in position and ran back like he was going to go address the ball, and so Kalina kind of stays where he is to just be kind of centrally positioned, and Reem like runs like he's going to get it, and then he just like stops and just watches it as it just bounces into the net.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things here. As a captain, you take control, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You go just aggressiveness. Again, mentality. We're just not aggressive. So Tim should go for this ball, but I when I first started playing soccer, I was a goalkeeper. As a goalkeeper, you control the 6-yard box. Nothing goes into the 6-yard box. That's goalkeeping 101. He didn't come out. He wasn't decisive. He's not yelling, say goalkeeper, because then Tim could have just stopped if Kalina calls for this ball.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a cross coming in. Somebody has to take some ownership here, and two of our leaders didn't. And another one of our leaders didn't shut the ball, that cross in. So it was just a mental letdown across the board, and it cost us 2 very valuable points. And it's just it was a disappointing night.
It was. Both teams also had chances in these like crazy stoppage time. Like both teams had chances to win. Like I think there was a Westwood shot that was deflected at one point. Toronto had basically a breakaway goal opportunity that Kalina saved by like closing his legs together.
Yep.
I mean, it was kind of a chaotic stoppage time there where, you know, you didn't really know who's going to win. There were moments that I thought we might find a way to win. Most of them driven by Maxi just doing what he does. But either way, ended up 3-3, 2 drop points. It is time to move on from this match and talk about Saturday. Almost a full hour into this. Actually, to save us some time, I'm going to bring up a couple questions that we had that were specifically about this match. So we can get into that a little bit. Multiple people said something along the lines of this, but the one I see in my question here is from Bryant about the loss, saying, was that a sackable offense for Dean?
I think it's no mistake that I am starting to wonder and ask some questions about this coach. Just repeated mistakes, the same mistakes, the tactics, the subs. It's not sackable, this one result, but you start stacking them and you start seeing where we might lose touch with fourth. Are we even going to get fourth? And, you know, is this a regression? So at some point you have to start asking those tough questions. So,
yeah, I'm definitely not there yet as far as wanting Dean out. I think some people, you're hedging that way a little bit. It seems like I don't know if he's, you know, if we need to make a change there. I'm not there yet. And maybe it's my personality of, I know what we had when this team started and the chaos we had at the head coaching position. And I'm like, is he perfect? No.
Yeah.
But man, we've had some stability and have been a, you know, top 4 contender in the East for a couple years now. Like I'll take it right now, unless we have a really solid plan for who would replace him. Because I agree, he might not be the one who can take us to the mountaintop, right? But like, I feel really good about what he's done there, and he's made this team have some consistency and has just settled down things in that head coaching position that we have so badly needed. So I'm honestly just a little bit scared to throw that away and you know, see who's next, unless there's a really good plan for who that person is. So we'll see. We'll see how I feel, but that's where I'm at right now.
His contract is up at the end of 2027.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting because you have the sprint season and then you have the 2027-28 season. So we'll see how that goes. And, you know, maybe Dean just needs the right personnel to really run what he's wanting to run. I look at the stats. I see the lack of aggression in certain categories, and it worries me.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yep. A couple other things as I'm scrolling through before we get to the second game. Joe mentioned something about Dean not making the same mistakes, kind of like you're talking to. Also, Chris asked about how in the hell did no one do anything about Dorsch's shot, which we just talked about. He did say screenshots appreciated. We got the screenshots, so we're good there. I did like this question from Eric. We'll go ahead and address it now. The first way he asked it was, do you really want to do a next pod after the Toronto debacle? And then he framed it in a slightly different way, which I thought was interesting to think about. For each of you, do you get more invested putting the pods together after certain types of games than others? Obviously, wins are more fun to discuss, but even some of those can be bland if the game wasn't a good game. Example comparison, a game like the Toronto draw versus the recent Chicago loss. So does I guess the way I'll ask it is, does the results of the match affect how you feel or how you think about how we do a podcast?
Yeah, a little bit. So I think when I much rather do these shows when we win, because it's but I if I have to really kind of look at it though, when we win, we're kind of like, we might gloss over some things. We're just happy and we're joking around. But when we lose, we get very like detailed. I got screenshots and everything like that. And I will say, if people really do like these, maybe I could do it in a different format or something like that. But if you guys want me to do it for positive stuff too, I can also do that. I don't want this to be like a 2-hour podcast though. Every episode, which we're tracking there now.
We're tracking there.
But I'd much rather do it after a win. Than a loss. But also too, this does give an opportunity to kind of look to see where issues lie though. I guess.
I almost, this might not be the right way to word it, but like, I feel like sometimes doing it after an especially bad loss it was almost like therapeutic.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Usually like we can have a little fun with it. And we at least like laugh a little bit. And so it's nice to just be like, let's talk about it, let's joke about it, and let's move on from whatever that was that happened. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's more fun to do it when we're coming off of a win, but sometimes like when it's something really bad, it just kind of feels better to be like, all right, we just need to talk this out for a little bit. So I feel better about things. I can get it off my chest. So that's my thought with doing those. All right. Let's get into, we got some of the good questions here too, but a lot of things about LDLT, Luca De La Torre. We can ask those in a little bit too. All right. So Saturday, we invite DC United in for Kids Night. Which was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
My kids really enjoyed that. It was a good time. I have to say, before we get into the actual match, and I need to remember, is it Christopher was the kid who helped with the on-field? Incredible.
Absolutely
like on multiple
incredible.
levels, absolutely incredible. The energy level, the screaming of the names, it was so good. But also like that kid's reading like fairly complicated cue cards. And he's
I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have fumbled all over those words. But yeah, no, it was a great touch. Bring him back. Let's let him do it again. That was incredible. I really enjoyed that. That was pretty sweet.
He was so fun. So it was a great night. I'm glad they did this kind of kids night situation. I think it was really fun and had a good time in the match, but also just had a really fun match to watch this time. Well, fun second half. First half, but second half, I've kind of forgotten how the first half went. And the amount of people I heard that either left or turned off the TV after the first half, I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you missed the best part," because it did get better.
It did get better. Yeah, the first half was not great, and I was feeling really like, "Oh no!" Like I thought it was hangover from the last match, and just the starting 11 I didn't agree with. And
interesting. Okay, so let's get into that. So the changes, obviously, Maxi gets his first start,
which Dean said before the match, not ready.
I thought that was him playing a little bit of poker. Like I really had a feeling. I was like, "There's no way Maxi doesn't start this time."
That was my thing. I'm like,
I get them ramping him up. Like this has got to be a starting him. I think Dean's just screwing with him at this point.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see him in there. The other change is that the center back, you had Kessler and Ajiman Morrison.
Yeah.
So you had no Tim Ream this match. Burns still on the bench, so Cleary's in there. Aloko gets to start opposite of Maxi, which is good. I'm imagining maybe some of your disagreements were with the midfield that we rolled out in this match, which was Biel, Westwood, and De La Torre.
Yeah, I again, rotation with that third center mid. And I will say this, you cannot, whoever's listening, if anybody from the team is listening, if Dean is somehow listening, if anybody can get the word to Dean, you cannot start Pep Biel, Luca Del Torre, and Westwood together. That cannot be the midfield, the center mid. You cannot do it. And this first half is the perfect example why. When I saw it, I was with my buddy Steven. I was like, this is not going to work. This is going to be horrible. You just cannot do that. I don't know. I don't understand why, Dean. Again, you have Diani, you have Brandt, who can literally play all game, every game. And Luca, again, I just baffles me.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I what do you even want to talk about in the first half? Like
That was it. That was it.
Okay, I was gonna say
no. There was no energy, no fight, no pressure. Just very lethargic football.
We talked about how this team in the past few matches has been coming off really hot and high energy at the beginning of matches and getting those early goals and then kind of trailing off. You know, if there's ever an issue, it's more, you know, later in the first half into the second half where we just kind of trail off that energy level. But there was nothing. I mean, this was one of those first halves where I was just like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what's happening. I'm just like, I'm here and I'm bored. This is always the one where, like, if someone's coming through a first match, I'm going, I hope you didn't come to this one, because that's I promise it's better than this. I promise it gets better than this.
I think DC did a really good job of compacting that midfield too.
Yeah.
And like I said, our starting midfield was not what it needed to be.
No. I will say the one thing I'll talk about in the first half, then we can move on to the second half where everything happened. Because the team was attacking toward my end of the field that I'm sitting in, you mentioned it earlier, Maxi's ball handling is out of control. Like, he was doing, like, we were like oohing and eyeing in the corner over there when he would come down, because just the way, like, the touches and the way he would move the ball around and get around defenders, beat 2 or 3 defenders at a time and find open space and get in good positions. Like, it was, every time he touched the ball, it was like I had to just like zoom in and watch what he was doing, because it was incredible to watch. I just, we have not, to my mind, had a player anywhere near that level when it comes to his ability to work with the ball, get around defenders, that kind of thing. It was just incredible. And I know and I feel like he's even still trying to get used to, you know, one, just being in Charlotte, but also like playing on the turf field. Like, I feel like there's still some growing pains. So the fact that he's at the level he is right now, like, is a lot of fun. I think the one thing I would say that now we need to adjust for is, like, now we need our other players to get in positions knowing that he's going to be able to do some of the stuff. Because I feel like sometimes he'd make these he'd get around defenders and drive down and be ready to cross the ball in, and no one's there, you know? So like, or even if someone was there, I think there was one where we like headed it straight down into the ground later in the match too. So like, there are just some situations where it's like, all right, he's going to make some things happen. Everybody else has got to be ready and in the right spot when he makes his magic happen.
Another thing I want to say before we get into everything else about Maxi, I really have appreciated the way he has carried himself on the field. He's always given a thumbs up. He's always clapping. If a ball goes astray, he's like, at least he's like, hey, that's a good thought. Very positive. And, you know, I liked Zaha, and it's going to be always a natural comparison. They're on the same side, you know, DP, yada, yada. Very different than what we had before. Yeah. Maxi seems to be very positive and open and encouraging. Lots of great early signs here. Yeah. So I'm pumped. But I wanted to call that out because I've noticed that when he's been in every game, thumbs up, clapping, very positive stuff. So that's really good to see.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I pointed out to people around me, and I think it was in the first half, like someone tried to like switch sides of the field and just blasted the ball miles over his head out of bounds. Like, it wasn't even close. And Maxi did. He still like gave him a little clap and like thumbs up. I was like, oh wow, that is not the reaction
Yeah.
We would have had to a previous number 10 standing over there.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, you didn't react at all.
Right. That's best case scenario. That's true. That's very true.
All right. So getting into the second half here, things started to kick off relatively quickly. We get a goal for DC in the 55th minute, which we do have some screenshots for here as well that I will quickly pull up for us.
Yeah.
But DC goes up 1-0. And just because of the way this match felt like it was going, that first goal really made me nervous. Also the way it happened, which we're going to get into, but like,
yeah,
we were not playing well. It felt like one of those off nights. DC gets up. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a long night, especially after that Toronto game. Recording the podcast is gonna be real hard on Mondays. So yeah, I'll bust out these screenshots and we can talk through kind of what happened here on this goal for DC.
Yeah, so this all stems from a foul at midfield. I think.
Like, was it a foul? Let me just throw it out there.
It was. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at it. But I can't remember if like Luca was the one that caused it or Bronico. It doesn't matter, really. It was a foul. DC takes it quickly, right? And, kind of catches us off guard. Kudos to DC for doing that. But I will say this could have been easily defended. We have the guys here to do it. Now, Cleary, to his credit, is pretty much on this. He a little called out, but he gets back enough.
Yeah.
So this ball gets played across the field, and this is a simple layoff. And again, like kind of lazy defending, like coming back and taking up weird spots instead of pressure. We don't pressure enough. We're not aggressive enough. So it comes out wide, and he taps it to the guy that's at the top of the box here. And if you go to the next screen, if you look at the first screen grab and the second one, just look at Morrison. You see where this ball's going. Like, why are you not rushing out to this wide open man?
He's deeper. And for anybody who's not watching, he's deeper in the second screenshot than he is in the first one. Yeah. And his man now has the ball at the top of the box.
And it's not like this is Will's man. It's not like this is a midfielder's man. This is Morrison's. You have to be aggressive. And we're not. We sag back, and it just beats all I've ever seen. And where's this shot come from? Basically, top of the 18, where all of our goals against are coming from. It's crazy, man. He has so much time to trap the ball down and then pick out the corner.
Yeah, and it does feel like a little bit that if you watching the highlights, he kind of jogs. Morrison does. It's almost like he sees the threat of this first guy, but he's like, oh, Will's got him covered. So like, we're not in imminent danger here. He kind of ignores his player, just his body language as he's coming out is very nonchalant. Whereas Cleary, again, because his man was the one who was in the danger zone and was getting the ball, like he's sprinting after trying to chase his guy down to get after it. Didn't feel like the same from Morrison there, not really seeing the danger of that situation.
And if you have not heard me say it 1,000 times, I'll say it again. We are dead last in tackles, interceptions, and fouls. And we give up the most goals at the top of the box. That really should tell you what is going on with our season. We are 4th in goals for. We are 5th in goals against, and we are sitting 5th. So it's right in line with what we're doing. But we're on pace to have 10 more goals against us this season. Something has to give here. We have to be more aggressive, and I don't understand why we're not. That's a player mentality thing, and also your coach has to like get on. You have to watch game film and be like, dude, that's unacceptable. You've got to step out. I just game after game. It's this lazy defending. How are you last in all these stats? Like, it's really how? Like I
Yeah.
don't get it. How are you last in all of those stats?
Yep. Absolutely. But it didn't last long.
That's right.
9 minutes. The 64th minute, we get a free kick. Again, talk about set pieces. These first 2 goals, set piece,
Huge.
kind of a little over. Well, I don't know what you would really call that. A little over midfield. Pep gets a free kick, puts it in a really dangerous area. Who I don't know. I don't remember who it was that got the first header. I don't know if it was Kessler or Cleary. Do you remember who it was?
I think it was. Wasn't it Morrison?
Was it Morrison?
Or a Loco?
Someone gets.
I can't remember.
Yeah, someone inside the box. Nice ball in. Someone gets a head on it. I'm watching it. Oh yeah, you're right. It was. It looks like it was Morrison, I believe.
I want to say.
And Morrison. Then off the rebound, just beautiful, like just kicking out his foot at the perfectly right time to tap that ball in. Really opportune goal there. But again, it was just a dangerous set piece. He put the ball into a really good spot, caused a little chaos, and get the goal there to tie it up in the 64th minute.
2 things real quick. I think I like Schnegg better offensively than I do defensively. And so
why can't we get a left back that just like will defend the way we need them to defend?
I'm glad Schnegg scored. So I feel like Schnegg and Tovlo need to score a goal or 2 and then stop, get it out of their system. Like we need defense, man, from you guys. But anyway, the second thing too, what I've noticed a couple times when we're fouled, kind of more towards midfield, we'll like kind of play it back or play it sideways. I'm like, with this new set piece coach, why don't we try to put more balls, like actually do a set piece instead of put it on the ground and then pass it back. I know there's flow of game. There's, you don't want to get caught in transition, stuff like that. But I wish sometimes we would do a little more because it's starting to work again. I think we have 11 goals, set piece goals on the season.
Yeah.
And yeah, great header. And then great follow up by Schnegg. And then we go again a couple minutes later.
Yeah, and I will say that the free kick was closer to the box than I realized watching it back. But so before we talk about the next one, as we were waiting for that free kick, when we had a triple substitution ready to come on, obviously they waited until after that free kick was taken. We had a full line change sub coming up here in the 65th minute.
Mm-hmm.
Abada for a Loco, Gianni for Westwood, which I thought was interesting seeing Westwood come off early.
I got some thoughts.
I was okay with it, but I thought it was interesting. And then Bronico comes on for Luca De La Torre. Yeah, thoughts on that kind of triple sub before we get into that immediate next goal.
If I'm going to be critical of Dean, I also have to be positive of Dean. I actually love these subs. I honestly think, again, I most of the jerseys I have Westwood on the back. I'm a big fan of his personally and professionally. I thought it was a really good sub. Westwood has struggled a little bit. And the screen grabs that I've shown you kind of prove that. And also, the dude needs a break. He plays all game. He cannot play 90 minutes every single game. Tim Ream can't either, man. Got to give these guys some type of break. Yeah. So I really liked the early subs. It was one of the Dean did a great job here. Early subs, and all right, I know you're my captain, but you're not playing the best. We need to save you some too. Great sub. And they worked. These subs worked.
Yes. And now obviously the goal happened before
he shouldn't have started Luca. But anyway, at least there was an acknowledgement. I'm like, okay, maybe this is not working.
Yeah. And obviously he was going to make the subs before the first goal that we score because obviously things were not working. So I do appreciate his being like, all right, this ain't it. We got to make a big old change here to get something going. And even after we get the goal, we still move forward with it, which makes sense. Like let's get these guys on because it still doesn't change that what we were doing on the field was not working. So we get that change in there. Before we even talk about a second goal, I forgot that the DC about went up 2-1, except for some crazy contortionist stuff from Kalina to somehow keep a ball out right in front of the net. I think it hit every part of his body before he finally got it into his hands.
I'm pretty sure this. Well, I'm going to be mean. I think this was Abada's fault. I think this was started with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it somehow bounced around a couple of folks, and he was able
Stressful.
to get it. And again, back to our goals allowed. Kalina is, I think, top 4 in saves again, and I think he kind of masks, and keeps us
Yes.
in these games.
Yes. 100%.
So it's a little worrisome, but that's why you pay him, and you got to have a good goalkeeper. So yeah, he was able to help us again this game.
Yeah, but it was an eventful couple minutes here because you had the first goal, you have the subs there, you have that almost goal with Kalina diving around trying to get his hands on it, and then in the 66th minute, we get a corner kick, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and we get the first goal for Will Cleary, which I was super excited about him getting a goal here. Corner from Pep, I believe, to get the assist. So really excited for Will to get his first goal to put Charlotte up 2-1.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
So it was good to see again. Yeah, set piece, corner. You got to have these types of goals, I think, in this style of modern day football. I've seen more and more of that. Glad we have a new coach to help, and it's paying off. So kudos to the coaching staff and front office for getting that all lined up and set.
Yeah. Because I really feel like, I mean, especially in corners, like I just remember many seasons past being like, we never score off a corner.
Mm-mm.
Like we had an Olympico that I'll never forget. But like outside of that, like when we have a corner, like late in the match, and it's like, oh, this is our chance to try to like, grab a late equalizer or win the match here. And if it's a corner, I'm like, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
let's just be real. We're not going to win this. So it's nice to see that start to change a little bit and have some of these opportunities actually go in there too. And then let's see, I think we made one more sub again, Archie for Tokomati, and then we get the final. I only feel good. Well, I should say this. I didn't feel good on Wednesday, but like 3-1 in this match felt way better than 2-1. So I was very excited for us to get that third goal there. Abada drives it down, makes a nice little pass to Biel, who finishes it kind of at the top of the box. So yeah, any thoughts on that third goal to kind of put it away?
You guys are thinking I'm going to be a huge hater, but I had a couple of people like, "Ooh, Abada got an assist."
I was waiting for it.
Like they want to take a dig at me because I do not I talk pretty bad about Abada, and I stand by it. But they were like, "Oh, he got an assist." I'm like, "All right, man." And if people want to say I'm hating, go back and just watch this assist. He is by himself, and he just dribbles. Because the defender does kind of like what our team does, is backs all the way off to the 18-yard box. So Abada's just basically just dribble, no pressure. He just literally dribbles and then makes a pass to Biel, who does the rest of the work. So he got a goal contribution. Congrats. Maybe this is just confidence boosting and everything, but please don't come at me up like, "Oh, you got another assist." I'm like, well, I could have done that.
I'm just saying, 3 goals, 4 assists since the summer break.
Should have had another one.
Yeah.
He's also been responsible for giving up goals too. So.
Fair enough.
Anyway, but look, look, man, if he wasn't a DP and holding that spot hostage, because to me, he's holding it hostage. It looks like we're not getting zero for him. We paid $8 million for this dude. We're going to get zero from him. And he's holding that hostage. If he was a regular player, okay, fine. But he has been benched multiple times. A loco is starting over. Like, I don't know how I can be positive about a guy who is such a hindrance to the roster layout.
I understand that. Yeah. Again, this is kind of what we talked about before. Like, if he wasn't a DP, if, that wasn't a thing that we had to worry about as far as how we built out our roster, fine. Like, I'd be fine. I'd be a little annoyed about how much we're paying him, but like, fine, we can deal with it. But I think especially because of the way the roster is built, it's especially frustrating to have him there. So, but anything else?
As long as he's contributing,
Sure.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
But I do think it says something that like when Maxi got the start, it was a local on the other side. And that's what as the way things stand now, that's what I would like to see happen. And then bring about on. I mean, while we have him, like, yeah, if we need somebody to come in late and try to, be a little change of pace, something like that, fine. Like we can use them. But
yeah. I mean, it's
like
like
I think it was telling that he didn't get the start.
Yeah, like he almost led to a goal in this game by he literally comes on and then messes up, and then they about score on us because of it. And then you look at the miss that he had where Tokomati has to bang it in. But he gets an assist.
The assist was legit. I mean, it was a legit. You put air quotes around it. He did get an assist, but I agree with the other points that you made.
It is the easiest assist you'll ever see. Like it. So yes, on paper, great. And kudos for making that pass. But then he misses that wide open netter. He's almost giving up goals, and that's been a real problem, man. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
doesn't matter because we're up 3-1.
Yep. All right, let's dig into some questions here, and we'll try to get these relatively quick because I know we've been going. We had 2 big matches to talk about, lots of goals, things like that. I'm gonna save Vaughn's for the end because that feels a little bit more kind of an evergreen question. I don't know if we need to answer this, but I think it's a funny question from Chris. Which player would you put with LD, LT, and Tokomati to complete the Bermuda Triangle, where all good things go to vanish into nothingness?
Who did you say?
He said Luca and Tokomati, which I think is a little unfair to Tokomati, but I do feel that way sometimes when Tokomati, the ball comes to him and nothing happens.
I guess you can probably imagine who I'm gonna say.
All right. Joe Garcia says, is Luca just being bad, or is he not a fit in Dean's system?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he is not sharp. He doesn't seem like the old Luca. I think one of the announcers actually in one of the games kind of called that out. It was like, he used to be good. Like basically he was like, this guy used to be good. But now he's not. And then our system, again, where does he fit? He's not as good as Pep, and you cannot play him alongside of Westwood. So maybe if it's Diani and Luca or Brandt and that scares the shit out of me too. But so I don't know. I just don't think he fits.
Yeah, but because there were some moments where it was Leagues Cup again. Take with all with a grain of salt. There were a couple games where I was like, oh, maybe, but it hasn't turned anything more than that. So yeah. I do remember what you talked about with the announcer saying that, because he was very positive on him. He's like, he's one of my favorite. Like, he's a great player, and then it has not worked here. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it is not.
Yeah,
it is not. All right, Matt Nolan question: did losing Zaha? He says transfer window hot take. Did losing Zaha and Vargas while adding Maxi make us better? I don't know if I'd go that far. I will say it's small sample size. I love trading Zaha for Maxi, and I liked Zaha. This is not an anti-Zaha comment, but the way things are trending, I really like what we got with Maxi, and we got a player that's in their prime. And I think he's going to be really fun to watch. I enjoyed having Zaha, but if we're going to lose Zaha, replacing him with someone like this, I think did make us a little bit better over there. I don't know if losing Vargas made us better, but I get the question here being that the results are really good. But I would love to see a Maxi and Vargas, front line up there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially long term, this is going to be a lot better. He's younger, better with the ball at his feet. He's not going to go down easy. He's not going to have card issues. I think, and he's more positive so far on the field. So yes, small sample size, but I really like it. The Vargas one I don't agree with, and also Nolan loves to talk about Abada, so I'm pretty sure there's a slight little thing there too.
I know.
But I have buried Abada, so I feel bad. So let's not dig the hole any further.
Nope, we're figuring that. Okay, so I'm going to keep rapid fire through these as fast as I can. With Westwood's retirement on the horizon, this is from Eric Hill. How do you feel about the prospect of the Pep Brant Gianni midfield that we got a glimpse of against DCU if we don't sign anybody new?
We have to sign somebody new.
Yeah, I know you did a long kind of thing about this in Discord as well too. That's the need in a major way, and I agree with you there.
Yep.
Kind of a funny question. I guess not funny, but yeah, a little bit. And some also from Eric. Have we seen enough to confidently say that LDLT is yet another failed attempt to supplant Bronico?
So I saw some. I think it was maybe in the Mint City discords, like this notion of like replacing Brant, and I don't know if we're trying to replace Brant because you still have to have subs, like you have to have
Yeah.
rotation. So I don't know if it's like replacing anybody. Brant is just able to outperform and whatever, but we have missed a couple times on that position. It's a tough one.
Mhm.
Sergio Ruiz, Luca Del Torre, like and then the first year with Miguel and all the folks that he had in here. We just can't really seem to get that one 100% nailed down yet.
Yeah. The one question from Matt Jones here about De La Torre is he just a backup for Pep? Like we keep trying to put him at the 6, but really is it his better position to be someone that comes on for Pep, which is what you railed against earlier in this episode. So I kind of know where your head's at, but his kind of thought is like, are we putting him in the wrong position? And he's better off at the 10 when Pep can't go or needs a break.
Maybe we need to see more of it. I don't know. He's not as nowhere near dynamic as Pep. I don't think he can shoot the ball as well. I don't think he can pass the ball as well or like make something happen. So I don't know. I just don't think Luka really fits anywhere here.
Yep. And just keeping on the midfielder thing. So you're talking about midfielder being the biggest need. What are the chances we get one before this window closes?
It looks like we have to have a domestic player.
Yeah. Because that's a like an international spot situation, right? Like we don't have any more. Is that the situation?
Yeah, we could go out and buy some, but I don't know if we had it. It takes GAM to do that general allocation money. I just don't think we have that. And again, I again beating a dead horse. Abada is holding that spot hostage, and we cannot get rid of him. It's maddening.
Yep. All right, Matt Chantry says, Will Cleary certainly looks much better going forward than Byrne, but I think needs more defensive experience because sometimes his positioning and 1v1 defending leaves a bit to be desired. How do you feel about his level right now and his potential?
I still think we're kind of dismissing Byrne a little bit. I think Byrne's been very, very good.
Yes.
He is getting older. He's kind of like picked up a knock and everything like that. So I don't want to discredit that. Now for Will, he's looked very, very good. I like his energy. I think he's just going to need some more time. Now he is going to make some mistakes. There's just no way around it. He's young. That's going to happen. So if he does, let's just bear with it, right? It's the process. But this is kind of what we need, right? We have people like Byrne and Westwood and Ream kind of leading the way, and then you have people come in behind them and naturally replace them. So it's kind of nice to have Will get minutes and get a goal. And I think to Matt's question though, defensively, he's where's his position? Don't get called out too much. Have your head on a swivel and everything like that. But I like his offense and defense, which is good.
Yeah, no, agreed. I'm with you. I don't think we should be talking about Will getting a start over Byrne or anything like that. But I have really enjoyed watching him play, and it's nice to know that we have a good player in development back there to help out because he's been a lot of fun to watch. I've been really impressed with watching him. So, I would worry more when we lose Byrne, but I think it gives us kind of that safety net because Byrne's been in the roster the last few games, I believe, right? Like he hasn't been kind of out on injury. He's been on the bench. So this is almost more of a, he's not out, but we're going to try to keep him rested as a precaution if we don't have to play him. And it's nice having someone like Will Cleary where you don't feel like you have to put Byrne out there to do it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of chatter on social media, like sticking a fork in Burn, like he's like, oh, can't start
No,
him anymore. I'm like,
no, no,
man, all
I'm not
right,
there.
like, okay, we'll see what happens when Will doesn't have a good game and see if that changes. But I'm not quite ready for Will to start every game. But it's been
Yeah.
nice to see his progression.
Yep. All right. Last question, and we'll get out of here. From Von Pullman. Lots of chatter about the proposed new playoff format, which, if you didn't see this, pulled up something just around myself. Like, there's just the possible sources saying that they would be possibly including a double elimination component, like as many as 20 teams in the playoffs. Who knows if this will actually happen? It wouldn't be until 2028, but just some noise about some expansion and changes on the playoff front for MLS. So the question is, in your opinion, what do you want MLS of the future to be? More like the rest of the world in a top 6 league, or embrace the zany, wild, and different, and love MLS for what it is?
I think once you start, and this is kind of like trickling out to all sports, it seems like now. Once you allow like everybody into the playoffs, what's the point of the regular season?
Yeah.
Just have little mini sprint seasons, I guess. You could have 4 quarters of sprint seasons, something stupid like that if we want to get wacky with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, at some point, it's like everybody gets a participation trophy. Like, I want to go back to, less teams, way less teams. You can have a home and away leg and all of
Yeah.
these things like they do in the rest of the world. Just shrink the teams down. The regular
Yeah.
season should mean something. You should be able to play your way into the playoff system. It shouldn't be like, well, there's the play-in game, and here's this weird thing like March Madness, and
Yeah.
But now, like I said, but this is all sports now. Everybody's like, how many more games can we get in here? Let's let everybody in. So again, it's like, what is the point of the regular season at a certain point?
Yeah. In your perfect world, how many teams from each division make the playoffs? Or each conference, whatever it's called.
Man, could you just do top 4?
I think that's what you're going to say.
But again, do like you could do a
And then do
series
home and aways
too. Yeah, you could do home and aways, or you could do a series.
I do kind of like the series.
Yeah.
I agree with you to a point. I think the play-in game should go. I think having the 9th team is unnecessary. But I can even get behind having an 8 team kind of get in there. Just because it, even as a casual fan, it makes some of those late in the season mid-table matches more interesting. Like there's more to play for when you're talking about, who's going to win Supporter Shield, who's going to win East, who's going to win the West. Then there's who's going to get top 4, and then there's that who's going to get one of those last playoff spots. It kind of makes that end of the season a little more exciting, kind of deeper into the table. So I don't hate it, but it does kind of a lot to get in there. But I like the series even versus a home and away. It's kind of it's a little bit different, but it's a fun way to do it. Is a 3-game series.
One of the things I'm very curious about is that you play the regular season and you're the number 1 seed. The more teams you have in it, the longer the gap is between you play again. So the teams that are playing, they're kind of hot and playing, while the first or second seed's like, oh, we got 10 games or 10 days before we play another game. It's like, I feel like there's a disadvantage for the layoff. So for me, like, less teams, you could have more games in the series. But I think we need to shrink it drastically, not let everybody in.
To answer Ron's question too about like which direction I want us to take, I don't want us to just conform everything to being like, trying to be like England and playing the exact same way. And like, I kind of like that we have our own little spin on it, whether I'm not saying bring back the crazy PKs from early MLS, but I do kind of like that we have playoffs. Like that's a very, that's American sports. We have playoffs. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with keeping that.
And
but I also think, I feel like I saw someone else say this. I'm kind of tired of us tweaking the format over and over again. Like at a certain point, we got to be like, this is how the league works. Like this is what our schedule is. This is how many teams make the playoffs. This is what we're doing. Like, stop tweaking it over and over and over again. Because I feel like it kind of loses. I don't know what the right word is, but I feel like it doesn't let you have that stability of just like this is how we choose a champion. This is what we do. This is how it always works. We're going to keep it the same. But I feel like we keep just twisting the knob a little bit.
Yeah.
About playoffs or whatever, any kind of piece of the competition like that.
I've seen other sports do this too, and I've seen NASCAR do this too. It's like it screams like they don't know their identity.
Yeah.
And you look at Leagues Cup.
Yep.
It's different. And look at the All-Star game. It's always different. And especially us Southerners, Corey, we love tradition and we like, like things to be the same. And you can't get used to anything, right?
Yeah.
If we continue to have the Leagues Cup for 10 more years, eventually people are like, yeah, we're doing Leagues Cup. But or hey, Open Cup is also a great example. At what point are we going to say, okay, we're fully committed to Open Cup again? Yeah. Now it's like, who's playing? Only certain teams are playing. Oh, now Crown Legacy's playing. Now you can't get into it.
Right.
So, because you don't ever know, you can't buy into the history of things. So it's weird, but yeah, MLS is in this kind of like, we don't know who we are. We do have a new commissioner coming in, so maybe that will help. But yeah, I'm with you. Do it and then do it. Like,
yeah,
stick with it, man.
And I don't think more teams is the answer. And I also think double elimination just confuses the hell out of everybody. I can't tell you, like, whenever this happens every year, like when I watched like the college baseball championships, because my Tar Heels always make it really far and always lose. I have to there's like a point in the season that on the family group text, I have to explain how double elimination works every single year. Yeah. So we just shouldn't do that because people get so confused about double elimination and who plays and how it works.
Yeah, it's like double elimination. So you lost, now you play again, but if you win, then you advance. But
then you got to beat that team twice, you know, and
it's like, what are we doing here?
It's a fine format, but I don't think we need to overcomplicate for this situation. So that's where I'm at with that. I believe that's all the questions. Apologize if I missed anybody's. Just bother us again on Discord. Anything else, Matt, before we get out of here that you want to say about the past week of Charlotte FC?
Do you want to talk about the giveaway at the game?
You're just teaming up. You wouldn't.
I didn't get one. Corey didn't get one.
No. I think we have some very nice seat neighbors who may donate one of theirs to the girls. So I appreciate y'all in advance for possibly doing that. Did not expect that, but that would be very nice. But no, we did not get one.
My thing is, I don't need one. I would like to have one, of course. Why not? Because my room is full of just nonsense Charlotte FC stuff. Yeah. But I think it's, again, we've talked about communication. We've talked about what are we doing here? You have kids night, the plushie thing. I'm sure that they had the idea, and it's a great idea. It's an awesome giveaway. Yeah. But then I'm sure they realized that the MLS has rules against throwing things, even though you'll give away a really hard bobblehead that could really hurt someone. So anyway, the team decides to, or maybe kind of forced to be like, crap, now we can't give these away at the beginning of the game. We'll give it away at the end of the game. The only problem is, people love these giveaways, so kudos to the team for doing these giveaways. I will say they are awesome. Y'all do love them. Awesome job there. Unfortunately, with this one, you had to give them away at the end of the game, so that encouraged people to leave the stadium early. Mm-hmm. Also, too, I don't know if there was any coordination or maybe it just got too far ahead. You also had a fireworks show, so you want people to stay for the fireworks show, but then also have a really fun, kid-friendly giveaway that you encourage people to leave the stadium.
I mean, you had to pick. Yeah.
Maybe things got too far down the line. Maybe the fireworks were, scheduled down, way in advance. Sometimes these things are, but it just, And then the gate that I went out of was completely empty.
Yep.
Apparently other gates had, and that's another thing too, like maybe think about distribution with the gates. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, the giveaways have been absolutely freaking fantastic. It's great for the fans. Big kudos there, but just that one was like, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. The giveaways are great, so people really want them, which is a good thing. And they do a great job with these, and so that's why people get kind of up in arms about it when it happens, because they do amazing. They do an amazing job. But yeah, this one, and again, I think it was probably a lot of things happened at the last second before when it was too late to change anything.
Yeah.
But just the optics of it, we're just like, I mean, because we wanted to stay for the fireworks. Like my kids wanted to watch the fireworks show. I was like, yeah, it's great. We'll stay and watch it. And then it was just hilarious watching people streaming out like the last 5 minutes of the match, just gobs of people leaving because they knew the giveaway was happening.
Yeah.
And then it felt like there was no one in the stadium for the fireworks show, which was actually very good. Like I thought the fireworks and the light show was great. It was, we enjoyed it, played a perfect playlist for kids. They were jamming out. So I thought they did a great job. Then we immediately walked out to try to go see if there's any left. And they were long gone by the time we got out to our exit. So yeah, I mean, again, I think we'll, I get it. It was probably a little bit out of their hands, but it just seems like a real miss there to encourage people to stay for a fireworks show, but then have a giveaway that they get at the end of the match. So they just have to leave early. Like even forget the fireworks show. I feel like it's a bad thing to encourage your fans to leave a match early.
And again, it could be like they had this created, they were doing this thing, and then they after it's all done, then they find out that there's a league rule where you can't have apparently ball related things there.
Which I get. It's just unfortunate our mascot is a ball in that case. But
and again, we have bobbleheads that are like super heavy that people
chuck a
can
bobblehead,
throw.
that'll hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I worry way more about that.
But no one's going to be throwing these giveaways. Like people love these things. And they'll be like on eBay the next day for like astronomical prices. It's crazy. Yeah. So the giveaways are great. It's just maybe this particular execution was not the best. But
when we were walking back to the car, I have to give credit. My 9-year-old did say, and I was like, that's actually a great idea. They might have had trouble enforcing it, but it's a great idea. She was like, it was kids' night. They should have just given them to kids. I was like, yeah. Adults don't need a Sir Minty plushie.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I was a little I wasn't angry at all, but I was like, man, I really want it'd be nice to have these. But then, I will tell you this: it is also really, especially after win, walking around outside the stadium and just seeing families and kids and seeing kids with those plushies and really loving it was pretty damn cool. But
that's who should get them. Like if we're being honest, I want one too. Like I get it, but
I think you're right.
If you're gonna do kids' night, make the giveaway for kids too. It's all about them. Let them have
Very astute observation. Yeah, it really should have been like it's kids' night. All the kids should get them. Adults, sorry, you come second. Like maybe leave some reserves, but kids should have got them.
Also, this, I'm never gonna get into it. Not every, I don't know. There's got to be also some way that not every member of a ticket group needs the giveaway every single time. This is another thing that I have. For example, the last bobblehead night, we walked up to we got there in time. Finally, we never get in time for gate giveaways. We got there on time to get I guess it was the Westwood bobblehead. We got there great, and we literally told the person we just want 2. Just give us 2. That's all we need. We don't need more than that. Leave them for everybody else. We'll just take the 2 and we'll be good. And she would not let us leave without taking. We ended up with 3. I was like, I don't need all 3. Stop trying. So I mean, it was fine, but it was just it's just kind of I don't know. There's something about what it's when you see large groups and every single person. Does a household need 7 bobbleheads?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
feels like too much.
Yeah.
So maybe we should think about that too. But again, this is just my crusade against. I'm never there on time, except for that one time. I was there on time for a bobblehead, and I was very happy about it. So, all right. With that, is the next match Kalina bobblehead night? I think it is, isn't it? The next home match.
Is it?
I shouldn't have just thrown that out.
No. So I missed the Tim Ream one, which I still, if anybody has an extra one, if your household has 5, if you want to give me one, that would be great. I am missing that one. And if it's the next home match, I'm going to be out of town for
it's
that.
September 5th.
No. I really want a cleaner one. Dang it.
Yeah. I do too.
Man.
I think we also have something else going on that night, but we might have to find a way to get to the stadium to get a bobblehead. So
okay, anybody out there? If anybody has an extra one, we need an extra Tim Ream one and extra cleaner ones.
There you go. All right, we'll make it happen. So one way or another.
Dang.
All right.
I can't believe I'm going to miss the cleaner one.
I know. Thanks everybody for listening. We got to get out of here. Join the Discord. You can chat with us there. Go to Patreon, pay us a few bucks, join the Discord, ask questions, chat about the matches, have kind of a group therapy session when we have matches like the Toronto one. It's really helpful. So we hope to see you in there. Otherwise, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks, Matt. Hope everybody has a great week, and we'll see you next time.
See you.